will be followed by a Q&A session, so where you can post your questions to the speakers. And in the midst of the presentations, you can already start to ask your questions if anything pops up in your head, and then we will look at it during the Q&A session. Okay, if that's all right with everyone and all are comfortable, let's sit tight and we will start with our first speaker. Let me welcome our first speaker today, Mr. Tan Chi Seng. He is the Center Director Designate of the SP-AIoT Centre, which is the new center that we have coming up in SP, and he will be sharing with you more about what is this AIoT and how you can leverage on this center. Okay, so let me just introduce him. Chi Seng, one of his key responsibility in SP is to drive the artificial intelligence of things, or AIoT initiative and development in SP. And he has experience working with many industry leaders as he was involved in launching of one of the SP Smart Connected Solutions Lab. And the lab trains full-time students as well as adult learners in IoT, wireless sensors, as well as gateway and middleware and application. And Chi Seng himself has conducted many short courses for various organizations like MOE, ARTC, SP Group, just to name a few. He's also an accredited and qualified instructor for the Amazon Web Services. So before joining SP, Chi Seng worked at ST Microelectronics as a project manager and a lead engineer. So let me welcome Chi Seng. He will be sharing with us on this topic of skill up and embarking on an AIoT digitalization journey with SP. Chi Seng.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lim, for the introduction. A good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for taking time to attend this webinar by Siemens and SP. Before I start my presentation, just pose a few questions that you might have so that you can relate to the coming slides that I'm going to explain. So what is the biggest challenge that your organization is facing in the digitalization journey today? So is it because of insufficient internal skills? Is it because of a lack of exposure to new digital technologies? Or you need more clarity to what are the changes that are needed? How can you communicate for your staff to understand and buy in the importance of digitalization? So the following slides is for me to share with everyone on how SP can help your business to skill up and embark on an AIoT digitalization journey together. All right, so the first slide. Okay, so now there are some quick polls. So what is the, so this is the presentation. So let me move on to the very first slide of my presentation, the Colocation Lab. Okay, instead of the usual traditional lab where the school buys the equipment and run everything locally, which normally gets obsolete along with time fairly quickly during this dynamic period, digital transformation, where the technology landscape moved very fast, SP decided that perhaps it is good that we can actually set up co-location labs with existing leading industrial partners like Siemens, so as to upkeep the latest state of art of technology. The co-location lab concept not just offer latest technology, but also look at uniqueness of the service and a ready solution that also provides quality facilities. All right, so the very first co-location lab that I would like to introduce, of course, is going to be the SP-Siemens Digital Experience Centre, which is a good example of such collaboration with the industry. The centre promotes digitalization to local SMEs and offer consultancy services to support SMBs in product demo and validation. So it is a platform for SMEs and SP to forge academia industry relationship to learn, research and work together. So SkillFuture courses are provided too. For example, the digitalization of product development course, both foundation and intermediate level. One of the key product available in this center will be the Solid Edge software by Siemens. The Solid Edge is an easy-to-use software tools that addresses all aspects of product development process, 3D design, simulation, manufacturing, data management, and more. So SP is delighted that this collaboration helps us when we participate in this Green Power International Grand Final competition. So a team of students from our electrical and electronic engineering as well as energy system, they raised their kit car that is built from scratch. It's able to acclaim the Silverstone circuit. SP is the first team that traveled more than 6,000 miles from Singapore to UK to compete in the race. So the team uses Solid Edge to design the chassis of the car. So Team SP clinched the Siemens Digital Award as they made the best use of the digital technology utilizing Siemens Solid Edge to design the chassis. So with that, we have a new elective course, autonomous vehicle. All right. So the topics for this particular course will include not just about infrastructures of the electric car, motors, drive, batteries, but also learn to use industrial relevant software like the Solid Edge again. Will be a fair portion that will be covered in this particular course. In these slides, you can see that there's a snapshot of the kit car design chassis and versus the actual one that's been produced. So the next co-location lab, while the Siemens Solid Edge software helps to create the product, the next co-location lab is actually the SP-Singtel 5G Garage. So we targets to develop and conduct 5G use cases, trials with SME to drive industry adoption of this digital connectivity transformation. So we incubate and develop solutions to provide 5G trainings to accelerate 5G competency development. So not just the product design, but in terms of connectivity, we would like to cover as much as possible. So the next co-location lab, which I would like to introduce, is the data analytics co-lab with TIPCO. So starting from product, just now I talked about connectivity, and now the next important aspect is to process the collected data for insightful visualization, so as to develop predictive models or application of predictive on live data. So therefore, this lab, SP TIPCO lab, targets to train our partners in data analytics aspect that serve the industry by running a range of short courses from half-day appreciation level to full-day introduction or even days at intermediary levels. Okay, so from low-level data that we all know that it has been collecting data. So the low-level data describes specific component of an operation at macro level. So while the high-level data allow us to see a bigger picture with the perspective at higher level to gain insights of a situation, SP recognizes the importance of aggregating various data together on a unified platform to a new SP IoT Centre, in this case, which is the new center that currently I'm trying to set up in SP. So this center aims to develop and integrate a high-tech IoT ecosystem from central monitoring, intelligent control, as well as data analysis for various partners, tech centers, and subsystems. So the center serves as a focal point to provide training for staff and students to gain critical technologies and development skills needed to support AIoT-driven solutions, such in the areas such as 5G, IoT, embedded AI, edge computing. So the center strives to nurture potential AIoT business. Potentially can be yours. We are ready to be involved in consultancy and applied to any research projects. Okay, so you can see this is roughly the vision that SP tries to gain. We aim to have this centralized AIoT ecosystem where we are able to connect various SP schools and centers, all sending data to the center. So that creates our own SP data sets. Of course, the SP data sets will be maybe a part of our government data set. But all this is because data today is really the king. So that's why we are now embarking on this journey to set up the center. So just to let you feel what kind of projects that we are undertaking at this point of time. So before we reach the dream that I showed you earlier on in the previous slides that connects various school centers, everything together as a single poly. So a more realistic plan has been crafted. So you will be seeing that we are now actually doing real projects in these fields where we actually engage our government cloud, the Dikara system, the chosen one as our unified AIoT platform. The work here is to deploy the solutions in various domains like smart facilities, mobility, plants, energy, but connecting people. So the examples that you see in this particular slides is like the video-based smart car park. Using camera as a generic sensor is becoming a trend. So instead of installing a single nodes at every car park lot, you may want to just put one camera and visualize it. It can be more effective. It can even detect for fire at the same time. Or we are looking at mass facial recognition attendance taking, where a student comes in sitting in a lecture theatre where we have cameras looking them, and we are able to match whether any student is absent or who are present and who are absent. We are also interested to venture into the automatic security vehicle where it patrols around the campus with a camera mounted for blacklisted personnel, for example. And of course, manufacturing is one of our key interests. We wanted to so-called move into I 4.0, a smart plant with real-line monitoring in real time. Not forgetting AI, because we call ourselves an AIoT Centre. How can we forget the artificial intelligence part? So we hope to explore into some behavioral detection for exam cheats. So all these use cases, you can see that anything that comes with product development, cycles, design, things that you need to make, Siemens solid edge software can play a part in almost all the use cases. So that's why we are honored to have this partnership, and that really helps to improve your business digitalization journey. Okay, so perhaps it's still a bit gray. What I showed you before is just our dream, is our plan, how we build up our own skill set. So we built some internal projects to build up our own skill sets. But the real work, we actually do have real works, real partnership with a real company. So to show the two projects, we're going to show two projects that we actually work with real company in the industry. Is this indoor vertical farming. So SIF, Private Limited, has been doing traditional farming all along. So they actually came to us and asked if we could recommend them a system that can monitor water pressures, temperature, humidity level, etc. remotely, so as to increase their productivity for internal use. So we are glad that we are able to help them. With this, their deployment now can even go into vertical shelves, and they are able to grow more crops, and they are able to monitor it remotely without having a real person walking in the area to inspect all the time. So we are happy to have that project ongoing. The next interesting collaboration that we have with the industry is with this company called W2. So on the right, in this slide on the right, you see this company W2. Traditionally, they make volatile organic compound gas detection system. So their previous system does not have the real-time monitoring capability. And it looks bulky, and it gets more and more expensive to make as it progresses. So SP, they came to SP, SP collaborated with them and is able to help them to digitize it with new tech, efficient PLC, of course from Siemens, and some IoT module as well. This new solution, with this new solution, the new solution is now cheaper, smaller, and it comes with real-time monitoring features. And now this company is recently they are able to compete better in project tenders. Okay, so this slide shows the block diagram of this W2 company's new system. So you can see that we are using, right at the center, we are using the Siemens PLC module to read and control sensors and activities, while the Siemens IoT module on the right helps to push data to the cloud and send notification. So the organic sensor on the left is actually from them. Yeah. So this is the kind of collaboration we have. We study their statements. We explore what is the gaps, identify the differences, and we recommend the changes. We work together, and we are able to. We are glad that we are able to help them. And you can see at the bottom right, these are some of the dashboard that has been created. So now the collaboration will continue. We hope and wish them good luck to win some tender in the forthcoming time. Okay, so probably after sharing with you all the activities that we have, you probably will have in mind as in how can companies, SMEs collaborate with SP? So what are the models that we are adopting? So you can see in this slide there are 4 areas. We normally look at a project collaboration, internship, running short courses or trainings. So let me just try to elaborate further. So you can come to us for consultancy. We will evaluate your case. We'll evaluate your case together to see how we can help you to digitalize your product, and or it can be a co-development model. All right. We can also collaborate to perform test bedding. Now, if your IP is secret, we understand that you do not want to release too much. But of course, in terms of testing, probably the facilities that we have here can help. So we can collaborate in terms of testing, or we can actually offer internship, student internship or staff attachment opportunities to your company. Or if you think that your company do not have space to host the student, hosting the student within our campus, but of course the internship allowance is from you. That is another way that we can discuss how we can actually do this collaboration. All right. So, or you're thinking that you need to upgrade your staff skill set because of digitalization. You think that it is good that your staff starts to upgrade themselves. So we welcome. Come to us, tell us the concern. We will address the needs, and we will make recommendation on the various courses that we have. Or we could, within our capability, we will try our very best to customize one if there is a need. Okay, so we can even do to that extent. Or the other way is that you have probably some niche skills, but you do not have that, you are not specialized in training. You can also come to us. We can also adopt the train the trainer model, where you train the staff here, and the staff can actually help you to do that kind of probably a certification trade program. This is another way that we can collaborate. Or finally, when you have some very good ideas that you like to conduct a webinar or courses together, like what we did here with Siemens, we also welcome. So these are some of the partnership opportunities we would be glad to do with you. These are not all. If you have any good innovative ideas that you would like to work with us, we welcome. Just come to us, and we are more than happy to discuss all possibility to move forward together. Okay, so having said much, so let's take a look at some SkillsFuture approved courses. So the SkillsFuture approved courses in SP are carefully designed, and we make sure that we actually fits into the vision of and support the government Smart Nation plan. So under this RIE, the latest RIE 2025 framework under the Smart Nation, Smart Workforce, Smart Infrastructure, Smart Economy section. We can see that the AIoT portion is one of the needed area. This is one of the main reasons why we are setting up the center. We acknowledge the importance and we hope to help local industry to embark on this digitalization journey. Okay, so the very first program I would like to introduce, of course, will be the SP and Siemens Skill Future course. So we actually offer this digitalization of product development course at both foundation and intermediate level. So the course, the foundation course allows participants to have appreciation on digitalization, how can digitalization transform your business and workplace, and learn about advanced product design, development, management tool through the use of solid edge. The intermediate level will provide you skills and knowledge that needs to work on mechanical and electrical CAD, design validation, more in-depth, and how it can help you to accelerate the design process and manage digital data. So these are some, besides the SP-Siemens courses which I mentioned earlier on. So we do not just do that, of course, as a school, as IHL, we do many more other courses. So as I said earlier on, all these courses falls under the agenda of the RIE 2025 latest plan. So we will do digital transformation to manufacturing. We have digital technology for smart city. We have a ROS course for industry. Then we actually do help, we do partner with AWS. I myself is an accredited AWS educator. So if you are interested to learn more about cloud computing, SP is authorized training center. Okay. At the same time, we will do some introduction to 5G technology and application. So there are more in the next slide. All right, so we also do so basic appreciation of IoT for electronics for industry. We actually do more in-depth cloud computing knowledges. We can help you to embark some data analysis knowledge. And after all this said, whenever you deploy an IoT solution, the common question that comes along for sure is going to ask you how secure is your solution. So that's where the cybersecurity comes in, that trains you, that advise you how you can protect your system accordingly. So this is some records that SP has already done. We are proud that we have conducted many short courses for many organizations, as you can see in these slides. For IoT and data management that we conducted, over 70 runs for this SP Power Group. Not just them, we also have more than 1,300 participants for the data analytics courses. Now, if you want some appreciation to IoT projects, we also have some courses for that. So also for the cyber defense as well as the mobile app development. So these are just some credential credibility of our program. Okay, so probably the next question is in your mind is money. Is it going to cost? All these things is we can discuss. But just to let you know, the good thing about Singapore government is that they are eagerly trying to engage you. So there are a lot of good skill future grants that are available. You can see in this particular chart, as long as you are Singaporean and you're above 40 years old, the course fee can be subsidized as high as 90%. So it means that your own, that comes out from your own pocket is probably only 10%. Even if you are the younger group, there's certain benefits. There are also some is also being subsidized quite heavily. So don't have to worry too much about the percentage. Come to us. We have all the information. We will tell you roughly how we can help you to maximize the SkillsFuture funding that we have from the government, because really the government is very keen to help everybody to transform and be able to compete well in this dynamic and digitalized world.